Hello, hello, welcome all. I'm Leo.
And I am Emma.
Today we're diving into something really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's all about becoming better versions of ourselves,
Okay.
but not like those typical self-help books you see everywhere.
Right.
This is more about like really understanding who you are deep down
Yeah,
and using that to like make your life feel more awesome.
absolutely.
So the first thing that really grabbed my attention was self-awareness.
Okay.
Like knowing your own values and fears and what gets you excited
Uh-huh.
and going deeper than just like the stuff everyone sees.
That's such a good place to start.
Yeah.
You know, self-awareness is the base for everything else we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It's about knowing what you're good at
Yeah.
and being honest about what you're not so good at.
That reminds me of how hard I used to be on myself. Like I kept focusing on the things I wasn't good at instead of being happy about what I could do well.
Yeah.
Letting go of that judgment was like a game changer for me.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. We all have that voice inside that's critical.
Yeah.
But learning to quiet that voice is so important for us to grow. And remember, self-awareness is a journey. It's not a one-time thing.
So true. So once we understand ourselves better, where do we go from there?
Well, then it's all about finding your purpose. Like, what makes you tick? What are you passionate about? Think about things that make you lose track of time.
Okay.
Those are often clues to what really matters to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about setting any random goal.
Right.
It's about finding goals that match who you are inside.
Exactly. When your actions match your values, everything feels more meaningful. Each step feels like it's moving you in the right direction.
It's like even simple things feel better when they're connected to something bigger.
Yeah.
Like if you love helping others, even doing dishes can feel good if you're doing it to make a nice space for your family.
That's a great example. It's not about the chore itself. It's about the why behind it.
Yeah.
When you have that clarity, even boring stuff can feel important.
Okay, so we have self-awareness and purpose,
Yes.
but life isn't always easy.
Yeah.
How do we deal with the hard times that come up?
That's where resilience comes in. It's not about avoiding tough situations.
Okay.
It's about learning how to handle them and becoming stronger because of them.
I think many people get resilience wrong.
Yeah.
They think it means being super tough and never showing weakness.
Right.
But it's really about being able to bounce back from challenges.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. It's about feeling the pain, learning from tough times, and using them to help you grow.
This makes me think about a time when I totally messed up a presentation at work.
Oh, no.
I felt so embarrassed,
Yeah.
but instead of letting it crush me,
Yeah.
I thought about what went wrong and I learned from it. And next time I totally nailed it.
That's resilience in action. And there are things we can do to build that resilience,
Like what?
like being kind to ourselves,
Yeah.
building a strong support system, and focusing on the positive, even when things are hard.
Yeah, those are great points. So we're building self-awareness, finding our purpose and becoming more resilient.
Yeah.
What else helps us become our best selves?
Well, one thing that often stops people is being afraid of change. But change will always happen, and it's actually needed for us to grow.
Change can be scary though.
I know.
It can feel like we're losing a part of ourselves.
Right.
But I guess it's more about evolving, right?
Exactly. As we learn and grow, who we are naturally changes. And sometimes that means letting go of old beliefs or habits that aren't good for us anymore.
I had a friend who stayed in a job she hated because it felt familiar,
Oh, wow.
but she was miserable. Finally, she decided to go after what she loved, and it totally changed her life.
That's a powerful example. Change can be scary, but it often leads to amazing things.
Okay, so we've talked about self-awareness, purpose, resilience, and accepting change.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we need to become our best selves?
One of the most important things is self-compassion.
Okay.
We're often our own worst critic.
Yeah.
But that negativity can really hold us back.
It's like having a voice inside that constantly puts us down.
Right.
How can we change that?
It starts with understanding that everyone makes mistakes. We all have things we're not perfect at.
Right.
And that's okay. It's about treating ourselves with the same kindness we would show a friend.
Being kind to ourselves actually helps us be stronger when things are tough.
Right. When we're always putting ourselves down, it's hard to find the energy to get back up.
Yeah.
But when we're kind to ourselves, it's like we have a cheerleader inside us.
So we're being kind to ourselves and embracing change.
Yes.
But how do we approach growing as a person?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a certain mindset that can help?
There is. It's called a growth mindset. It's the belief that we can get better at things through hard work and learning.
A lot of people think they can't change how smart or talented they are.
Right.
But with a growth mindset, you see challenges as chances to learn and grow.
Exactly. People with a growth mindset love challenges.
Hmm.
They see them as a way to improve. They're not afraid to make mistakes because they know that's how we learn.
So it's about effort and not giving up.
Yes.
It's about believing that we can grow and change.
Yes. And it's also about having people around us who support our growth.
That makes me think about relationships. Having good connections with people is really important for self-improvement.
Absolutely. The people around us have a big impact on how happy and how much we grow.
Yeah.
Having strong relationships gives us support, encouragement, and inspiration.
Think about the people who inspire you,
Yeah,
the ones who push you to be better. Those relationships are so valuable.
they are. And it's not just about getting support. It's about giving it too.
Mm-hmm.
Good relationships go both ways.
So it's about having friends who are also trying to grow and who help each other along the way.
Exactly. And that journey of growth should last our whole lives. It's about staying curious, learning new things, and always being open to new ideas.
That's what lifelong learning is all about.
Yes.
It's not just about school. It's about staying interested in the world and always trying new things.
And it's also about living in the moment, which brings us to another important part of becoming our best selves, mindfulness.
Mindfulness is about being present in the here and now without judging anything. It's about paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and what's around us.
Exactly. And we can practice it throughout the day,
Like how?
like taking deep breaths before a meeting or just noticing how our feet feel on the ground when we walk.
Those are great examples.
Mm.
Mindfulness can really help with stress and anxiety.
It can. And speaking of managing stress, remember that taking care of our bodies and minds is super important for becoming our best selves.
So true. We can't be our best if we don't feel our best.
Right.
Taking care of our physical and mental health is key.
Absolutely. It's about making sure we get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, exercise, and manage stress in healthy ways.
All these things work together to create a strong base for growth and well-being.
They do. And remember, there's no one right way to become our best selves. What works for one person might not work for another. It's about finding what feels right for you and creating a plan that you can stick with.
That's a great point. So much of what we've talked about is about trusting ourselves and listening to our own inner wisdom.
It is. And it's about understanding that this journey never really ends. It's about always growing and changing.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah.
It's not about reaching some perfect state.
Right.
It's about enjoying the journey and becoming the best we can be along the way.
Exactly. And that journey is something we can all start no matter where we are in life.
So what are some of the big things we've learned so far? What's sticking with you?
For me, it's how important self-awareness and purpose are. They're the base for everything else.
Yeah.
And I love the idea of accepting change and being resilient as keep us growing.
I agree. And for me, the importance of self-compassion really stands out.
Oh, yeah.
We can be so hard on ourselves, but it's so important to be kind and understanding, especially when things are tough.
That's so true. And it's also important to remember the power of a growth mindset. Believing in our ability to learn and grow can change everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about good relationships and lifelong learning.
Right.
Those are important parts of becoming our best selves.
They are. And taking care of our physical and mental health is important too.
Yeah.
We need to take care of ourselves in order to do well.
These are all great points.
Yeah.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference.
They can. It's not about changing everything about our lives overnight. It's about taking small steps in the right direction and being proud of ourselves along the way.
So what's one small change you could make today to start becoming a better version of yourself?
That's a great question, Leo. I think for me, it's about being more mindful of how I talk to myself. I tend to be pretty critical, so I'm going to try to be more kind and encouraging.
That's a great goal. And for me, I think it's about taking care of my physical health.
Okay.
I haven't been exercising as much lately,
Right.
so I'm going to start moving my body every day again.
Those are both fantastic goals,
Yeah.
Leo. I'm excited to see how we both grow.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to take some steps towards becoming their best selves too.
I hope so too. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Every step counts.
And that's a wrap on part 1.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
See you in part 2.
Take care. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Thanks for joining us again.
We're continuing our talk about becoming the best version of yourself.
Yes.
And in this part, we're going to explore some practical tips and tricks to make all these ideas happen in your everyday life.
I'm excited to get into the details.
Yeah.
We've talked about big ideas like self-awareness, purpose, and resilience.
Uh-huh.
Now let's figure out how we can actually use these things in our life.
Absolutely. So let's begin with self-awareness.
Okay.
We know it's super important to know yourself deeply, but how do we actually do that?
That's a great question. It could feel a little confusing. Like, where do we even start?
Well, one of the best ways to learn about yourself is to look inwards. It's about taking time to think about your thoughts, feelings, and actions.
So it's about paying attention to what's going on inside,
Yeah.
not just going through life on autopilot.
Exactly. And there are a few ways to do this. Writing in a journal can be really helpful. It lets you write down your thoughts and feelings without judging yourself.
Mm.
You can also try meditation or mindfulness exercises.
Yeah.
These can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings in the moment.
Those are great ideas.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that self-awareness is a journey.
Right.
It's not like you do a few exercises and suddenly you know everything about yourself. It's about always checking in with yourself and paying attention to what's going on inside.
Exactly. And as you become more self-aware, you might start to see patterns in your thoughts and actions.
Okay.
You might see how your past experiences have shaped you.
Yeah.
And how your beliefs affect the things you do. This is all valuable information that helps you understand yourself better and make better choices.
Okay, so let's say we've worked on self-awareness.
Right.
We understand our values, fears, and what motivates us. What's the next step in becoming our best selves?
Well, once you have a clearer picture of who you are,
Okay.
you can start to explore your purpose. We talked about this before.
Yes.
It's about figuring out what really matters to you, what makes you feel alive and happy.
Right. It's about finding things that give you a sense of meaning.
Mhm.
But how do we actually find our purpose?
It can be a journey of trying new things and seeing what happens. Sometimes our purpose is clear from a young age.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes to us later in life.
Okay.
It might involve trying things you've never done before, stepping out of your comfort zone and paying attention to what makes you feel good.
So it's about being open to new things and listening to our heart.
Yes.
Not being afraid to try things and see where they lead.
Exactly. And remember, your purpose might change over time as you grow and learn. It's not always a fixed destination.
Okay.
It's more like a direction that guides you.
I like that. It's about going with the flow of life and letting ourselves change as we learn and find new things.
Absolutely. So once you have a sense of your purpose,
Yeah.
you can start to set goals that match that purpose. And this is where things get really exciting, because when your goals align with your values, everything feels more meaningful. Every step you take feels like you're getting closer to the best version of yourself.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like having a North Star that keeps you on track even when things are hard.
Exactly. And when you're setting goals, make sure they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Okay.
It's called the SMART goal framework.
Gotcha.
And it can be really helpful to make sure your goals are clear and you can actually take action on them.
So it's not just about having dreams.
No.
It's about breaking those dreams down into small steps that you can actually do.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate your wins along the way.
Okay.
Even small wins are important. This will keep you motivated and help you keep going.
That's a great point. It's easy to only think about the end goal
Yeah.
and forget to enjoy the journey.
Right.
But celebrating our wins can make the whole process much more fun.
Absolutely. And speaking of enjoying the journey, let's talk about resilience.
Okay.
We know life is full of challenges, so how can we get better at bouncing back from setbacks and keep moving forward?
This is such an important skill
Yeah.
because even with the best plans, things don't always go our way. So how do we deal with those unexpected bumps in the road?
Well, one of the most important things is to have a positive mindset.
Okay.
This doesn't mean ignoring the bad stuff,
Right.
but it does mean focusing on the good, looking for the good in every situation, practicing gratitude, and being around positive people.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The way we think can really affect how we see and react to problems.
Yeah.
If we always focus on the negative, it's hard to see the good and how we can grow.
Exactly. And another key part of resilience is self-compassion. We talked about this earlier. It's about being kind to ourselves when we mess up or when things don't go our way. It's about remembering that we're all human and we're all doing our best.
That's such a good reminder. We're often so hard on ourselves,
Right.
but that just makes things worse.
Yeah,
Self-compassion helps us handle challenges with more understanding and kindness.
absolutely. And it also helps us learn from our mistakes without feeling guilty or ashamed.
So we're being positive and kind to ourselves. What else can we do to build resilience?
It's also important to have a strong support system.
Okay.
People we can go to when we need help or encouragement. This could be family, friends, mentors, or therapists. having people who believe in us and support us makes a huge difference.
I completely agree. Knowing that we have people who care about us and are there for us gives us strength to face any challenge.
Exactly. And remember that building resilience takes time.
Mhm.
It's not something you do once and then you're done.
Okay.
It's about practicing these skills over and over and making them a part of your life.
So it's about building habits that help us feel good
Right.
and make it easier to bounce back from hard times.
Exactly. As you build resilience, you'll notice you can handle life's challenges much better.
This is all great information.
Yeah.
But I think one thing that stops people from becoming their best selves is the fear of change.
Oh, yeah.
Change can be scary. It can feel like stepping into the unknown.
Absolutely. Change can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary for growth.
Okay.
If we're not changing, we're not growing.
Now, how do we learn to change instead of being scared of it?
I think it starts with realizing that change is a natural part of life. Everything is always changing.
Yeah.
The seasons change. Our bodies change. Our relationships change. Change is the only thing that stays the same.
That's true. I often don't like change because we want things to stay the same.
Right.
But that's not how life works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help us.
Exactly. So instead of fighting change, we can try to welcome it.
Okay.
We can see it as a chance to learn and grow. We can be curious about what's waiting for us outside of our comfort zone.
That's a great way to think about it.
Yeah,
Instead of seeing change as a bad thing, we can see it as an adventure.
exactly. When we're curious about change and see it as an adventure, it becomes much less scary.
Okay, so we're embracing change.
Yes.
We're building resilience.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning about ourselves and finding our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
What else is important for becoming our best selves?
Something that people often forget is self-care.
Right?
Taking care of our body, mind, and emotions is super important for being our best selves.
I totally agree. We can't give to others if we're empty ourselves. So how do we make self-care a priority when life is so busy?
It starts with making it a must-do.
Right.
Just like we schedule time for work or meeting friends, we need to schedule time for ourselves.
Yeah.
Whether it's 30 minutes for a walk in nature, an hour for a yoga class,
Right.
or a whole day at the spa, make time for things that make you feel good.
That's a great reminder. We often put ourselves last.
Yeah.
But self-care isn't selfish.
Right.
It's necessary.
Exactly. And self-care is different for everyone. It's about finding what works for you and making it a priority.
So it could be reading a book,
Yes.
taking a bath,
Yeah.
spending time with loved ones, whatever makes you feel happy and recharged.
Exactly. It's also important to have healthy boundaries.
Okay.
Learning to say no to things that drain your energy
Yeah.
or that don't match your values.
That's so important. Boundaries are about protecting our time and energy so we can be our best selves.
Absolutely. When we take care of ourselves and have healthy boundaries, we create a more balanced and happy life.
This has been such a helpful conversation.
Yeah.
We've talked about so many things,
Yeah.
from self-awareness and purpose to resilience, change, and self-care. I feel like I have a whole new set of tools to become my best self.
Me too. And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired and ready to start their own journeys of self-discovery and growth.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
And remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned for part 3, where we'll go even deeper into the art of becoming our best selves.
We can't wait to share more of you.
Welcome back to the deep dive. It's time for the final part of our talk about becoming the best version of yourself.
That's right. We've talked about a lot already, like self-awareness, purpose, resilience, and change.
It's been a lot.
But there are a few more important things to add.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me about these secrets to unlocking our full potential.
Well, one of the most powerful ideas is the growth mindset. We talked about it a little before,
Right.
but it's so important that we need to dive deeper.
Okay, I'm ready to dive in. Tell me more about this growth mindset.
A growth mindset is believing that we can get better at things with effort and learning.
Okay.
People with a growth mindset love challenges because they see them as opportunities to grow. They don't avoid hard work because they know that effort leads to progress.
That's a really cool way to look at things.
Yeah,
Instead of seeing our weaknesses as stopping points, we see them as stepping stones.
exactly. And when we have a growth mindset, we're more likely to keep going when things get tough. We're more open to feedback and learning from our mistakes. And we're more likely to reach our goals.
So how do we develop this growth mindset? Is it something we're born with, or can we learn it?
The good news is that anyone can develop a growth mindset. It's not about changing our talents.
Go.
It's about changing our beliefs about those talents.
So it's about changing how we see things.
Right.
Instead of saying, I'm bad at math, we say, I'm not good at math yet.
Exactly. Adding that yet makes all the difference. It's about understanding that we're all learning and growing, and we can always get better.
I love that. It's about enjoying the journey and not being afraid to make mistakes along the way.
Absolutely. And there are things we can do to develop a growth mindset.
Like what?
One is to be around people who believe in us and encourage us to try new things.
That's so true. The people around us can really affect how we see ourselves.
Yeah,
If everyone tells us we can't do something, it's easy to start believing them.
exactly. So it's important to choose our friends wisely and be around people who support our growth.
And what about the things we tell ourselves? Our inner critic can be really mean sometimes.
Definitely. The way we talk to ourselves can either help us or hurt us.
Yeah.
If we're always putting ourselves down, it's hard to believe in our ability to grow and change.
So it's about noticing how we talk to ourselves.
Yes,
And changing those negative thoughts, replacing them with positive and encouraging ones.
exactly. It's also about celebrating our successes, even the small ones. Every step forward is a win.
That's a great reminder. We often focus so much on the next goal that we forget to appreciate how far we've already come.
Absolutely. Celebrating our wins helps us stay motivated and reminds us that we can achieve great things.
Okay, so we're developing a growth mindset.
Uh-huh.
We're surrounding ourselves with positive people
Right.
and changing our negative self-talk.
Yes.
What else can we do to unlock our full potential?
Another important ingredient is strong relationships. We talked about this before, but it's worth repeating because relationships are so important for our happiness.
I couldn't agree more. Relationships give us support, love, connection, and a sense of belonging. They make our lives better in so many ways.
They do. And when it comes to becoming our best selves, good relationships can really help us grow.
How so?
Well, for one, they keep us accountable. When we share our goals with others, we're more likely to achieve them. We don't want to disappoint ourselves or the people we care about.
That's so true. Having someone to cheer us on and remind us of our goals makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And good relationships also give us a safe place to be vulnerable, to share our struggles and fears without judgment.
That's really important. When we feel safe and supported, we're more likely to take risks and try new things.
Yeah,
We know that the people who love us will still love us no matter what.
exactly. And good relationships also give us opportunities to learn and grow. We can learn from each other's experiences. We can challenge each other's ideas, and we can inspire each other to become better.
I can definitely relate to that. I've learned and grown so much from my relationships with my friends, family, and mentors.
That's great.
They've all played such a big part in my journey.
That's wonderful to hear. It reminds us that we're not alone on this journey. We all have people who care about us and want to see us succeed.
So if we want to become our best selves, we need to take care of those relationships.
Yeah.
Make time for the people who matter most and be open to learning and growing from each other.
Exactly. And it's not just about the people we're already close to. It's also about meeting new people and connecting with people who have different ideas and experiences than our own.
That's a great point. Different perspectives can be so enriching. They challenge our assumptions, broaden our horizons, and help us see the world in new ways.
Absolutely. So if you want to become your best self, make an effort to connect with people who are different from you.
Okay?
Go to events, join groups, talk to strangers. You never know what you might learn.
This is all fantastic advice. It really shows that becoming our best selves is not something we do alone.
Right.
It's a team effort.
Exactly. We need each other. We need support. We need encouragement. And we need to be willing to learn and grow from each other.
Okay, so we've talked about the growth mindset and strong relationships.
Yes.
What else is important for reaching our full potential?
One thing that's often forgotten is lifelong learning. We usually think of learning as something we do in school,
Yeah,
but the truth is that learning should never stop.
I agree. The world is always changing. New technology, new ideas. If we want to keep up and stay engaged, we need to keep learning.
Exactly. And lifelong learning isn't just about getting new information. It's also about developing new skills,
Okay.
expanding our horizons, and staying curious about the world.
So how do we make lifelong learning a part of our lives?
There are tons of ways we can read books, take courses, attend workshops, listen to podcasts, travel, talk to people with different opinions. The possibilities are endless.
That's exciting. It means that learning can be an adventure. It can be fun.
It can.
It can be a part of everything we do.
Exactly. And the more we learn, the more we realize how much more there is to learn. It's a never-ending journey of discovery.
I love that. It means we can always be growing and changing,
Yes.
always becoming more knowledgeable, more skilled, and more well-rounded.
Absolutely. And that's what becoming our best selves is all about. It's about enjoying the journey of lifelong learning
Yeah.
and using it to help us grow and change.
This has been an amazing conversation.
Yes.
We've covered so much,
I know.
from self-awareness and purpose to resilience, change, growth mindset, strong relationships, and lifelong learning.
It's a lot.
I feel like I have a brand new guide for becoming my best self.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Yeah.
Remember, becoming your best self isn't about being perfect. It's about enjoying the journey, being kind to yourself, learning and growing every day, and being around people who support your dreams.
Those are great words to remember. And I think it's a perfect way to wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today. It's been an honor to have you on the deep dive.
The pleasure was all mine. I've loved exploring these topics with you, and I hope our listeners have found this conversation as inspiring and helpful as I have.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into becoming the best version of yourself. We've talked about a lot, but this is just the beginning. There's so much more to discover. So stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing. Until next time, take care and be well.
See you soon.